Welcome back, everyone, to another site tour here with Scamping with Jay. I am back at 44 North. Surprise, surprise. I know for the sake of YouTube, I'm going to have to start visiting different places, but due to weather, I had to switch up my plans this weekend. And if I got to switch up my plans and the weather is nice, of course I'm going to end up back here at Matt's place. This place is awesome. So anyway, I do have some corrections to make in this video. I was speaking with Matt yesterday, and I really need to ask more questions before I make a video, so then I don't have to make redemption videos and correct myself. But anyway, I am at Red Pine, site number 6. Which actually I am not. I reported that this was the new red pine. This is the old red pine that I had mentioned that Matt wasn't particularly a fan of, so he made a new red pine site that we're going to take a walk up and visit. But if you do book red pine, you have the option to take this site here, which isn't going to be great for larger groups, but a couple or a pair of friends, or like me all by yourself, there is plenty of room for you. One advantage of red pine is this is your own private drive, so you don't hear anyone driving past, you don't hear anyone. For the first time, I'm actually sharing the campground with other campers. There is someone staying at Margaret's Pond this weekend. There is also another group staying at Sugar Maple this weekend. I was not bothered, did not hear. It was no different than any other stay that I've had here. It was just me, Coors Banquet, and a whole lot of ska punk last night. And of course the animal noises, which I'm sure was bird and owl for turn that music down. The 90s are over, old man. But it's a nice site. Like I had stated in the last video, lots of shade. Thanks to the pine trees, you're going to get shade all year long. The leaves are starting to come in. It's amazing night and day what 2 weeks can make. 2 weeks ago I was here, all the trees are bare. Now we're back and full leaves. So you're going to have shade at all the sites here in late May. Pros to this one: secluded, alone, private drive like I said. Cons: not a whole lot of places to set up tents, just due to its unlevel. There's a big slope right behind the fire pit, so it's an open space, but can't really use it for anything because it looks like it's at about a 45-degree angle or so. But again, can't say enough nice things about this place. I did bring a hammock with me today on this trip. This would be a good site to set it up on because I've got that tree there and that tree there. If it was a little bit warmer, I'd hang it up and take an afternoon nap, but I think we're looking at a high of 60 today. So there probably won't be any hammock naps this trip around, but I'll get that hammock up one of these times. So I would definitely recommend this site. I've recommended it every time. It's amazing. Matt is an awesome host. His land is always open. I shouldn't say always open. He does close for hunting season because guns and Hipcamp are a big no-no. So since his family are hunters, he does close down for the hunting season, just to not break any of Hipcamp's rules. So at this point now, we're going to take a walk and I'm going to show you the actual new red pine, formerly known as site number 6, which is just up this road here. And Max, if you're watching, this is going to answer a lot of the questions we had last week when we were talking about the pop-up and where it's going to go. So anyway, so it's just right up here around the corner. You guys are familiar with the white barn coming in. That's it way over there. That gives you an idea where I'm located. Sounds like Matt's mowing some lawn in the distance. I swear that guy's got more energy than I had when I was 20. He's a beast. So come down here. And, you know, this doesn't look like much of a road, but it's really firm, really good. You know, can't say it enough times. I drive my Honda Fit here. Winter, summer, spring. I did get stuck in the winter time, but that was my own dumb fault. Nothing to do with the property. I took a little roller skate of a car where I shouldn't in the snow. But take a look around. But anyway, we'll get over here. Another redemption I need to do later on in this video is Site 1 overlook that I pointed out. That's not Site 1 overlook. And Site number 2, the edge, that I showed in my last video. That wasn't Site number 2. What I showed and called overlook, that's just a family gathering spot that Matt uses with his family. I'm sure if you contacted him via Hipcamp messaging, you might be able to work out a deal if you need a spot that big, but that is not listed. What I showed as the edge is also just his son's private little landing spot for the family. That was not the edge. The edge is a different one. So I have not yet seen overlook. I have not yet seen the edge. But we're here. This is the new red pine, which makes a lot more sense when it comes to pop-ups or getting a larger group in here. Old tree house right there. Looks like a couple chairs. Not entirely sure what this contraption is. Huh. I'll have to ask about that. That's definitely for something. But not sure if anyone's ever stayed at this one yet. Take a look at the fire pit. I would say that's unused, or Matt is a really good fire pit made. And cleaned that up. That's fire pit. So this is all flat here. Tent. You can get the pop-up right over here, or a trailer of some sort. You might get a little bit of brush rub on something, but hey, that's just a camping pinstripe, right? This is another ATV trail. It goes up to the cornfield. This is all cornfield. I don't know if you can see. I'll try and zoom in. There is the porta potty right there. That's over by site number 3. So you can see, you know, you're a good ways away from all of the other sites back here at site number 6. And once all this corn grows here, that's just another barrier of privacy. I'm gonna need sugar maple and red pine to arm wrestle for my attention, because sugar maple, it has that epic tree behind, you know, the fire pit as the backdrop, and it's beautiful. But I don't know if you can really beat a private drive and the seclusion that you get over here in this spot. Very similar to the seclusion I felt at mystery site number 7 here. Very much alone. with phone service, which is of course important to me. But so this here is the actual site number 6, Red Pine. He did mention to me that if you do book site number 6, you've pretty much got your choice between the two. He's not going to tear out the fire pit or anything in this older one that I'm staying at. Personally, me being alone, I like the other one, but I have got absolutely no complaints or anything bad to say about the new site number 6. So stick around. We're going to actually go look at the edge, the actual the edge, and we're going to go take a look at the actual overlook. And I can get a little bit of redemption and maybe not feel like so much of a complete ass. We'll see you in a bit. Redemption Part 2. We are at the actual overlook site. I mistakenly said that this big open area was overlook last time, but overlook is actually across the driveway over here, which, you know, makes more sense. Overlook. This is up on a hill. You're overlooking the pond. You're overlooking, you know, the road, the big open spot. Like I said, I'm sure if, you know, you wanted to plan something where you needed an area that big, I'm sure you could, you know, contact Matt. I'm not speaking for him. I could be wrong. As you watch my videos, you see that I'm wrong more often than I really should be. But so this is the actual site number 1, overlook. You are not going to have a whole lot of privacy. This right here is the main driveway in. So if anyone's staying at Sugar Maple, Big Oak, Margaret's Pond, Mystery Site number 7, they're going to be driving right past you, and you're going to be on display to them. At night, when no one's coming and going, yeah, you're going to have some privacy. But this is the first one in. As soon as you get to the property, it's a nice big wide open space. Got a little sand mat right over there for a tent, and put another tent over here. It's a little bit of a hill, but I mean, if you tried hard enough and had the right vehicle, you could back a travel trailer or an RV, smaller RV. You could get up in here. This has the largest fire pit of any of the sites. It's pretty huge. It's an oval, so I can't really give a diameter on an oval, but I would say it is 5 feet this way, maybe 4 feet this way without getting a tape measure out. So yeah, you could have a heck of a fire at this one. Let's take a look over here. Looks like there's a metal plate or something on the ground. What's this about? That's a metal plate. I don't know, maybe it's a well, or I'll have to ask Matt about that next time I see him, and I'll put a little footnote of what that is. But Redemption Part 2, this is the actual overlook. You could fit quite a big party back here. Not going to have a whole lot of shade. This is going to be one of your sunny spots. You do have shade. You know, you got this tree here that's going to, you know, giving you a little bit of shade over there. You got that tree, but as you can see, it's just wide open sky at this spot. So anyway, this has been my redemption of Overlook, formerly known as site number 1. This is it. That's not it. This is it. Matt was mowing the lawn over by the edge. I don't hear the lawnmower going anymore. So let's head on over there and finish up my redemption video, and I will show you the actual The Edge. All right, redemption conclusion here. I falsely reported this one as the Edge, formerly known as site number 2. Matt's son has brought his travel trailer back to the spot. Again, this is just kind of his private, personal camping spot. So this is not the Edge. The Edge is back over this way. Now when you come in, you go down this road here, and that'll take you to Big Oak, Sugar Pine, Margaret's Pond, Mystery Site number 7, are all down this road here. But to the left, you have a little bit of a road here. This is actually a snowmobile trail in the wintertime. That's what the little reflectors here are marking. This is the field I showed you from site number 6. Site number 6 is going to be right over here somewhere. And I have to correct myself once again. The corn is not going to be planted in this field this year. They will be planting alfalfa in this field this year. I could be wrong on that, but that's what Matt told me. He rents out the land, so he's not entirely sure what they're going to be planting, but he believes it's going to be alfalfa. That's going to affect the privacy slightly, very ever so slightly, for site number 6. Alfalfa doesn't get as tall as corn does, but if people see you from a distance, they see you from a distance. And I believe Matt told me site number 6 is about a quarter mile from the closest site to it. But we are coming up here to the actual The Edge. Again, not much of a site. You can get a pop-up back here real easy, get a travel trailer back here real easy. Tents, obviously, go anywhere. But this here is the actual The Edge, named because that drops off, that drops off, that drops off. Got a fire pit, of course. Camping is not complete without a fire pit. A couple solar lights to mark the spot if you get here at night. But again, plenty of flat ground, wide open ground. As you can see, The Edge. All right. Again, not a whole lot of shade in this spot. Shade lovers, you're definitely going to want anyone but Overlook and The Edge. The rest of them in the summertime are going to be very well shaded, with breaks just big enough, to stargaze at night, because the stars up here on a clear night do get pretty epic. The Edge also extends over to this open area. Matt told me he is pondering putting in a second fire pit over here, just so you kind of have a choice. If you do pick site 2, you can stay over here in the wide open area, or you can get back here underneath a couple of trees. But so that wraps up my redemption and my explanation. Hopefully I didn't make too many more mistakes that I'll have to go back and correct here, but thanks for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Please, please, please. It would help me out tremendously. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.